Hello and welcome to the 259 Show, a weekly podcast brought to you on our various social media, Facebook and Twitter at the 259 Show, and then at our website www.the259show.com. I'm Andy Fowler. I am here tonight with a whole panel, a slew, if you will, of people. Joe Peachy coming to us live from Astoria.
4 neat guys.
Tyler Diedrich and Mike Vincelli. How are you guys doing tonight?
It's great to be here.
Doing good.
I'm glad everybody is as happy as I am that we are here tonight. Something, as I mentioned, we're going to try to do weekly to get it out there. Saturday mornings. We're hoping to get this out Saturday morning, every Saturday morning. Just a couple of guys, actually 4 guys sitting around.
4 neat guys.
4 neat guys. Thank you, Tyler, for plugging the show title that never stuck. The old name. Before episode 1, twice already tonight. Want to say it a third time?
Stop trying to make 4 neat guys happen?
No, it's the 259 Show, the 259 Show. And that gives homage, actually, to a road that...
The main thoroughfare through town.
Yes. That goes all the way up and down the west side of town, and that's exactly who we're talking to. Our people, the people on the west side of town. Joe Peachy, as I mentioned, is coming to us via Skype. Joe is in Queens, New York. The
if you're from around here, turn it off right now.
How you doing
Astoria,
tonight,
Queens,
Joe?
baby. Represent.
How's the weather down there in Queens today?
It's beautiful, man. Like 50 degrees, nice and sunny fall day.
Smelly, too, because it's New York City.
Living the dream out here, man.
Yeah, well,
if you're just joining us, and if you don't know us, Joe grew up here in Hilton, New York, but he moved to New York City at some point in the last couple of years to find himself.
Joe is teaching.
I've really been searching my soul. I'm a teacher, but I feel like I'm just teaching the world how to live. It's really what needs to be done. Am I right, Ty?
Yeah, and you also need to gain some street smarts, because even though you claimed you didn't have many book smarts, but you were street smart, you were still the least street smart person I know. But that's probably changed now that you've lived in New York City for a while.
Well, you know that you can't live in New York unless you have street smarts, Tyler.
So how did you fit in at first?
You just gotta survive, man. You just gotta survive in these streets.
It's a jungle.
Moving on.
Man.
So moving on, for those of you who aren't too familiar with us, we actually all have been friends forever. We went to Hilton High School together. Joe and Tyler graduated 2008, me 2010, Mike Vincelli 2011.
BFFs.
But we did hang out a lot. And actually, thanks to Facebook Memories, we were reminded this morning, me at 6 a.m. when I woke up, that 4 years ago today, 2012, the 4 of us plus Tyler's brother Jake made a road trip to South Bend, Indiana to watch maybe the biggest night in Notre Dame football history.
At least in this century.
At least in this century. And what did we do, Mike? Could you remind me what we did after Notre Dame won and went undefeated for the whole regular season and took the number 1 seed after another team lost?
We booked it out of South Bend and went to Toledo, Ohio.
We became number 1 in the nation for the first time. So, Mike, go ahead.
Let's set the scene here. This was 4 years ago. They were playing Wake Forest. It was senior day, the last home game of the season. They won 38-0. And we had, who was it? Kansas State and Oregon also lost that night, so Notre Dame jumped to number 1 in the rankings.
And then we next week in Toledo,
they beat USC the next week to
hotel.
clinch a spot in the national championship game.
Yeah, and thanks to...
I don't see what the problem is here, because that's the same thing I do every year when I go to Notre Dame.
Maybe that's the problem. Thanks to our travel advisor, we weren't in South Bend that night to celebrate.
Probably the biggest night in South Bend.
The biggest night in South Bend history.
It was going to be, as the kids say, lit that night.
Yeah.
But one of the things that really cemented our relationship as a group of friends is that day, 5 of us squished into 4 seats. Do you remember that?
Oh my God!
Drew had tickets for a different section, but
yeah,
we didn't want him to sit alone. So
squeeze Papa Bear in there.
We squeezed him in there, and let's just say it was tight. But Tyler was getting made out on
in front of
the 2 people in front of us, like the 6'4" guy and the 5'2" girl making out the whole time.
A couple made out the entire game, all 3.5 hours of the game. It was actually pretty impressive.
And we had random body parts just draping all over people next to us.
And I think for the first 3 quarters, we did think it was a parent and a child, unfortunately. But No, they were indeed boyfriend, girlfriend, or, fiance, or maybe they're just friends. I don't know.
Wonder what they're up to now.
Hopefully they're still together.
But, yeah, that's kind of our background of where we come from. We all played different sports through high school. We all went on to college. We got our college degrees and doing something with those degrees now for the majority of us. Sorry, Mike. And I'm
going to be an intern forever.
But one of the things that we all did have in common is this idea of this podcast has been circulating for maybe the last year.
6 months.
6 months now. And we finally sat down, so we're going to do it. This is the 259 show, the 259 show. As I mentioned, check us out, Facebook, Twitter, at the 259 show, or our website, www.the259show.com.
And it could only get better from here. Hopefully.
Uphill. Only uphill from here, as I have learned in the business. We're going to spend roughly the next 45 minutes together, and we're going to go through, Thanksgiving.
Just having a chat.
It's next week already. Yeah. Thanksgiving is already next week.
Have a little chat.
So we're going to talk a little bit about what we do every year for Thanksgiving. A weekly segment of Power Rankings. This week's Power Rankings is Thanksgiving menu items. Each of us have prepared a list of 5 things, our top 5 menu items for Thanksgiving. We're going to give you our list, and we'll have a little debate here on who is correct. I believe I am. Weekly segment that we like to play, it's a game called What Year Was It? I surfed the interweb, and I got a list of a couple things that happened in one year in particular that happened in our lifetime. Tyler thinks he's going to win every week.
On the first try.
I do not think so.
Should we have a little, some sort of punishment? If Tyler,
me and Mike should maybe be a team against Tyler, because when I was talking to Drew the other day about this segment, I was like, Tyler is going to clean house if there's any sport reference. So
why don't
you guys think I'm a one-trick pony, but I'm not.
Well, yeah. Well, if the other people want to entertain it, Mike,
talking a big game. I mean,
well, let's see how this week goes. Let's see how this week goes.
All right.
We'll go from there. And one of Tyler's favorite pastimes, we'll be talking about in the second half of the show today.
Football.
When can we play Christmas music? Tyler, who was married last August, a year and a half ago already, had Christmas music playing in the church and at the reception. Tyler Diedrich in August celebrating Christmas music.
Yes.
We'll talk a little bit about that and when is it okay to play Christmas music. And then we'll end every segment every week with
every show
20 to 30 seconds of airtime each. We'll go around the room. Hopefully we've all prepared some sort of narrative or topic we'd like to talk about, and we'll give each of us 20 to 30 seconds to talk about that if an hour already wasn't enough. That's what we got up in episode 1. As I mentioned, Saturday mornings, these podcast episodes will become live on our social media and on our website, www.the259show.com. Thanksgiving, boys. A week away. It's crazy. It's crazy how quick it snuck up on us.
Less than a week, depending on when you're listening to this.
Yeah, it's coming up. It is coming up.
I will say, a lot of people put a lot of bank into Halloween and Christmas. Thanksgiving is, hands down, in my opinion, the most underrated holiday. It's everything about it is just amazing. I love it so much.
It's definitely in my top 3.
Thanks for the insight.
It's definitely in my top 3 holidays, but I'm looking forward to it just as much as you guys. Joe, you're in New York. You coming home for Thanksgiving?
Sure am. I will be, actually, I'm taking a train to Albany, New York with my dog Mosby, and from there, Greg Earnhardt, who might be a guest caller on the show, sometimes will be driving me from Albany back to the motherland of Hilton, New York. So I will be home this weekend, yes.
Well, we can't wait to see you. You have any big plans for Thanksgiving? Anything exciting?
Well, just kind of jumping into the whole tradition thing. Every year, my family plays football. Thanksgiving morning, it kind of started as just a me, my dad, my brother, my uncles. We played all together, and then it kind of morphed into this everyone getting together and family, friends, everybody. So doing that Thanksgiving morning, that's one of the traditions that I love. And we'll definitely be doing that this year.
Nice. Turkey Bowl. A little bit of Turkey Bowl action up at the Parmatown Park?
Parmatown Park, sir. You know it.
Nice. Tyler.
I have to work.
Oh, you're working?
Because I work at a television news station.
Are we going to name this television news station, or is it going to remain nameless?
It'll come up at some point. But the point of this is it's not really... You know what they call Thanksgiving in the television news business?
What's that?
Thursday. So,
Tyler.
And I got to work overnight, so I'll be going in at 11 p.m. on Wednesday. I get out at 7 a.m. Thursday. Now that does give me time to enjoy my Thanksgiving dinner, and that's great because I didn't. There was one year I was working all day, and then I have to go back in at 11 o'clock on Thursday night until 7 a.m. on Black Friday.
You are a warrior, Tyler.
So I might be able to make it to the Turkey Bowl. I feel like I've already accomplished all of that one can in playing in the Turkey Bowl through the years, and then
I will say, I will back him up in saying that it's usually like 15 against 15, so it's just a freaking hot mess out there, and Tyler just sits behind everyone and picks everything off. And
a lot of people are hungover, and I'm not.
That usually
puts
helps.
me at a big advantage. And then you have, like, someone who wants to take over at quarterback who really shouldn't be, and it's just...
Tyler, I just heard, though, that you have an injury that might be putting you out of commission for Turkey Bowl.
You want to talk about this?
We don't have to mention what it is, but the injury itself, will that impact your game?
Oh, no. If I am awake enough to play, I'll be 100%.
Starting the excuses early, Joe.
The wife will just slap some cream right on there, and he'll be ready to go.
They'll be good to go.
Yeah,
Put me in, coach.
There you go.
Don't even need any cream.
No cream for this guy.
No.
Tough
Tough
Just put
guy.
it through it.
You eating dinner with the folks, Tyler?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean,
Jake will be home? Younger brother Jake?
yes.
Well, your only brother Jake?
Yes.
Get your eye doctor.
Yes.
Molly's still over. Your sister Molly's still over in England, though.
Yes.
All right.
is she not coming home for Thanksgiving?
No.
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 And watch a little football. Watch the Lions and the Vikings, two teams that are not my favorite, but I am fond of.
Good games on Thanksgiving. I heard the lineup today.
Well, we got Lions, Vikings, and Cowboys, Redskins.
Yeah, Cowboys and Indians. And then at night, it's the Colts Steelers. But
Steelers.
yeah, but still.
Could have been
Wait,
good.
did you say the Cowboys versus the Indians, Drew?
Yeah, Cowboys, Redskins, man. Yeah. It's Thanksgiving. You can say that.
Was that Boomer?
I think we need a boo.
But, neat. I think it'll be good football watching.
Yeah, but then I gotta get to bed by halftime of the Cowboys game, something like that.
All right.
Get some pie in me and then go to sleep.
What's
for
the
2
third
hours.
game? What's the third game on Thursday night?
It
Colts
is
and Steelers.
Colts Steelers, Joe.
Colts and Steelers.
Mike, any plans for Thanksgiving?
I think I'll be making my first appearance in the Joe Peachy Family Turkey Bowl. So
Hey-o.
it's exciting. I've been training pretty hard for that. Just
No injuries.
No.
Perfect right now?
No, I'm feeling 100%. So.
What's your 40 time?
Ooh. I don't know.
We don't do 40.
We don't do 40s.
We do 80?
Yeah, we do 80. That and go home.
Yeah, no. Good plans.
Do-
Lasagna at the Vincelli house?
No.
Ganache!
Watch a little football, head over to my grandma's house, do the family Thanksgiving thing, nothing too crazy.
Nice.
No Packers this year.
I prefer that. They're
Oh,
rough
yeah,
this year.
I'm sorry, man.
They're very rough.
Hey, join the club.
Hey, relax, though.
Join the
Aaron
club.
Rodgers just says relax.
Is that what he says?
Yeah.
He says, not in my house, too, and he smashes the house with the golf club. So,
yeah, what about you, Drew?
thanks for asking.
Yeah,
I was
you're gonna ask
hoping that
yourself?
somebody was going to ask, so I'd have to ask myself.
Thoughtful guy.
I usually show up to the Peachy Turkey Bowl. I do most of the cooking for Thanksgiving. I share it with my mother, Linda, the responsibilities of cooking Thanksgiving. So I usually take care of that in the morning, and I show up at the Peachy Bowl. I bring my dog. We usually walk a lap or two around the park. Tully tackles Joe, and then I head home and eat a lot of food.
Now, how do you prepare the bird?
This year we're going to try a little bit different technique. We bought a turkey roaster. We usually just throw it in the oven. The past couple of years we've done mimosa turkey. Some orange juice, a bottle of champagne, minus a cup of Joe. Hey, and it turns out really good. But this year we had a turkey roaster. We're going to see how it goes, and just a little shindig here. I've worked 5 years in retail, so I usually have to work Thanksgiving night or Black Friday. This is my second year not working in retail. I cannot wait to sit back. And being a teacher, I have Wednesday off as well.
Must be nice.
Yeah, I got Wednesday off. Joe, you got Wednesday off for Thanksgiving?
No.
Oh,
no,
New
we
York
got to work
City.
on Wednesday.
Ooh.
No.
But, I got Wednesday through the week off.
Speaking of how you cook the bird, have you guys ever had deep fried turkey? I've heard those are good. I've never had, but
Jeff Diedrich has a
guys
turkey fryer, right?
Yeah, but I don't think he uses it.
Oh,
really? I hear those are really, really good.
Yeah, I've never had one.
Neither have I. We've always done oven.
It's got to be good, right? It's
But the thing
baked
is,
in oil.
it can go very wrong if you don't do it right, and that can screw up your whole Thanksgiving feast, and you don't want that to happen.
Did you see the police officers in Brockport today were handing out turkeys? Did you catch it on 13 Wham today?
No. I was sleeping. No.
Oh, that's right. You should sleep.
Live turkeys or
no, frozen turkeys. They were doing traffic stops on Main Street in Brockport today. They were handing out, I think it was 50 different turkeys to people who they claimed looked like they needed it. I don't know what that means, if they looked hungry or if they...
Profiling?
Yes.
What is every 10th person who crossed the line gets a turkey?
Perhaps. Maybe that's their turkey method.
Were they like Oprah, like, you get a turkey?
No, they just picked everyone who wasn't a college student.
Exactly. So, Brockport Police today spreading the love for Thanksgiving.
There you go.
But, turkey is one of my favorite things. And actually, we're going to just move right over to our weekly power ranking of Thanksgiving menu items. And I'll get the ball rolling here. Tyler, stay with us. Do not fall asleep, Tyler, because my top 5 might surprise you.
Ooh.
Coming in at number 5 on my Thanksgiving power rankings.
Wait. We need to make this a little dramatic before we break into this segment. Do we have like a...
We've got nothing. It's a startup in a basement. We've got nothing.
I said, this will get better.
This
will get better.
Hopefully. Thank you, Mike.
We're just working out the kinks here, Michael.
But number 5 on my top 5 Thanksgiving Day menu items, believe it or not, is Jell-O.
What kind?
You know why?
Yeah, do you have a flavor?
There's always room for Jell-O. The followers typically do black cherry with mandarin oranges in it.
That's very specific.
You see, I actually disagree.
It's oddly specific.
You need to keep as much room as possible for all the good stuff. So you literally should have no room for Jell-O.
Yeah.
It should be filled with all the other stuff.
I don't even think we have Jell-O.
It's great. Trust me, you gotta try it one of these years. Number 4, mashed potato. Mashed potato is one of my favorite things. Number 3, a dessert item, pecan pie. I say pecan. My favorite kind of pie.
You must not be from around here.
No, I'm not. Number 2, stuffing, or some people call it dressing. And number 1, I say turkey has to be number 1. It's Thanksgiving. It belongs in the middle of the table. It belongs on the top of the power rankings.
It's not bad. You can't have Thanksgiving without a nice turkey.
So that rounds off my top, my power rankings of Thanksgiving Day menu items. Mike, you want to share?
Yeah.
Take the ball from here. I'll disagree.
This one might be a little odd. Number 5, cranberry sauce.
I'll tell you what.
Is that a question or?
No,
I'll
tell you what.
Well, Drew gave me a weird face, so that's why. Joe in New York City.
Mike, I actually considered this one too. I don't think I've ever eaten cranberry sauce by itself in my entire life.
No, but it's fantastic.
If you put it on top of the turkey and mix it with some other stuff, make a sandwich maybe.
Yeah. I've never had cranberry sauce.
Wait, what?
But it's kind of like Jell-O.
Let me throw a
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's the cranberry sauce is the Jell-O of Thanksgiving.
So maybe
you guys really don't need Jell-O?
I agree with Michael.
Maybe I'll try it.
Cranberry sauce is good,
pillar.
especially the homemade.
It goes between the
you don't want
cracks.
the can with the
we do
fake
the can,
slice. No.
and it actually comes out looking like it.
I mean, it's not bad, but the homemade cranberry sauce should plop
I'll give it a
on.
try this.
Can I just throw a quick shout out about
is...
cranberry sauce here? When I was in college at St. Bonaventure University, there was a restaurant about 20 minutes away in Portville, New York, called Sprague's. It's a maple farm, okay? And mostly known for pancakes and sausage and stuff of that nature, but they had terrific. Everything there was terrific. Am I right, Joe?
I'm sorry.
Sprague's. Everything there terrific. Am I right?
Amazing. It's one of the best restaurants in Western New York. Like I think, just like the breakfast.
Okay, so Joe agrees.
Amazing.
And they one of the things that they had on the
Thanksgiving dinner they would do, right? Yeah.
Well, no. One of the things that they have on their menu year round is the Pilgrim Turkey Sandwich, which is turkey with stuffing, cranberry sauce. I don't even know what else was on there, but it's stuffing. Did I say stuffing?
Yeah.
Stuffing, cranberry sauce, turkey.
You said those things.
Delicious sandwich.
Thank you, Todd Fritz.
And that's how I became a cranberry sauce fan sometime within the last decade.
Okay, Mike, can you go back?
Sorry, Mike.
That's okay.
I was
4,
validating you.
I'm going to go pie.
Just pie?
Overall pie. I mean, whatever you like. Pumpkin, apple.
Mike, gotta give us a pie.
All right.
Pick your favorite pie.
Pumpkin. You gotta go pumpkin pie, right? It's Thanksgiving, right?
I don't like pumpkin.
I mean, we have a spread. We have pumpkin. We have pecan.
Oh, I'm in.
We have apple. We even have chocolate pudding pie. That
Do you have
actually
one of
might
each?
be my favorite.
One of
I
each.
mean, yeah, it's a whole skeptical there. So.
Okay, so pie in general, pie.
All right, number 3. I don't know if this actually counts as a menu item. We talked about it before we started.
You do you, man.
The show, but gravy.
Yeah.
I think gravy is underrated. If you don't have good gravy, I don't think you got nothing on Thanksgiving. It tops up all over your food and adds great flavor to the turkey.
Especially if you together.
Hey, once you mix everything, man, that nice sloop, get a little sloopy.
Hey, you might as well be eating cardboard if you don't have gravy.
Right. Especially if you got a dry turkey. Maybe Drew, I don't know how your mimosa turkey's been coming out.
Pretty good.
Yeah, all right. So you got a dry turkey. Gravy saves the day.
Gravy saves the day.
Number 2, of course, turkey.
Turkey.
Thanksgiving turkey.
So you demoted turkey from my list, and
Number 1,
what trumps turkey?
Stuffing.
Stuffing's
great.
Dude!
Stuffing.
Bread, whatever else. What I don't even know what is in stuff.
Bread
and
some vegetables.
Crouton sausage.
Yeah.
Bread,
Little piece of
sausage in there.
Finely
really
diced
good.
celery, if you want.
Whatever
I
it
don't
is,
like that.
it's
diced onions. I don't like that either.
I mean, you
For
don't
me, it's all
taste
about the bread and the sausage.
Sausage.
You like the sausage?
Sausage.
Yeah, stuffing.
Now,
I
here's the
think.
thing. And stuffing can come in 2 different ways. You can stuffing, which is inside the bird, or dressing, which I still call stuffing, which you make outside the bird and you throw in the oven and it's nice and crispy. That's what I like.
We do both. So I take a little bit
I will
of both.
say the best stuffing I've ever had is my grandmother's, but Jeff Diedrich also makes a wonderful stuffing.
So Jeff
Am I right,
Diedrich makes
Tyler?
the second best stuffing you've
Jeff
ever.
Diedrich
Also,
is the
that's a
stuffing
shout
king.
out to maybe our only listener.
Hey, Jeff Diedrich.
All right.
Man in black.
All right,
Jeff Diedrich.
Joseph,
Joe, what do you got?
pass it on to you.
Okay, so I actually split it up. I did my top 3 favorite and then top 2 least favorite foods for Thanksgiving. So my
So New York City over
Joe.
here.
This is the top 5, man.
He's finding himself still.
Joe,
I like to. I'm going off the
Hey,
cuff
things
there,
are a
young
little,
blood.
things are a little
So
different in New York City. Just let him
we
do his
just
thing.
like to live the way we live. Okay, we're butterflies. So my number 3 Thanksgiving food is apple pie, and it is actually apple crumb pie from Kelly's, which is fantastic. Number 2 is I love green bean casserole. That stuff is amazing.
No, that's good.
Especially
I agree with you,
have
Joe.
the right toppings on top of it, because it can either taste really bland or it can be really crunchy and really good.
No, you get a little breadcrumb, you get a little cheese.
Jesus. I didn't know cheese was Italian.
The Leaning Tower of Cheese. Sorry, Joe.
Cheddar. Cheddar.
And my number 1 Thanksgiving food is stuffing. Now, top 2 least favorite. You guys are
does that even
blow
mean?
your mind. Ready?
Top
that
2
mean?
Number
least
2.
favorite.
I am not a fan of pumpkin pie. Not very good. Just don't think it's very good. And my most overrated food from Thanksgiving is turkey.
I knew that was coming. Shocker.
Really, Joe?
Look, here's the thing. Turkey's delicious. It's great, but it's like everybody
news
puts
clip.
so much emphasis on it.
Breaking
And
news.
white turkey is not good. It's dry. It doesn't taste good.
We've got breaking news. Joe Peachy needs attention.
No bueno. No bueno.
Really, Joe? No turkey for you.
Jeez.
I'll eat turkey, but it's definitely not the thing I'm putting most on my plate.
Okay,
I got-
whoa.
Like
Let's
half
back
of my
up here.
plate. I get
Joe,
like a little green bean casserole. Get some rolls from Sean Hook. I'm all set.
Joe, on your power ranking, though, you put pumpkin pie above turkey. So are you eating more pumpkin pie than turkey on Thanksgiving?
Doesn't surprise me.
I was gonna say,
No.
what do you grab first at the dinner table on Thanksgiving? What do you normally go
Whatever's
for?
in front of
Stuff.
you.
I go for stuffing.
Stuffing.
I like fill
first,
half my
right?
plate
You
with
gotta get
stuffing.
your stuffing, yeah.
But really, Joe,
But turkey's not like
Tur-
priority. Is that like last on your like? Oh, I'm just all right. Turkey's here. I'll grab it. I guess.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
not priority?
I'll throw it on there.
Is it
Like, I mean,
priority?
it's definitely because I want a whole plate of deliciousness, but I'm not going for the turkey first. I'm going for the accoutrements, if you will.
You gotta get the white meat.
it's all
Dark
about
meat.
Maybe a leg.
Tyler, finish
Okay.
us off here.
Coming in at number 5 is
That's
one
what
that
I already went.
One that I haven't heard mentioned yet for some reason, but for number 5, I'm going to go with rolls.
It's not bad.
You know what, though? The roll is awesome.
Especially
what.
for leftovers.
I'll tell you what, the roll is about the only, back when I was
Oh boy, history lesson.
the only thing
Back in my day,
the only thing I really ate on Thanksgiving was stuffing and rolls.
carbs.
And I think that's all that my sister.
Tyler was a
still eats for
chubby
Thanksgiving is
teenager.
stuffing
Wasn't
and rolls.
that?
I can see it. I can see an 8-year-old Tyler with his head being up most like half of his body, walking through the kitchen with his forehead being half of his body, walking through the kitchen with a plate full of rolls and stuffing.
Yep, gotta get back down to watch Barry Sanders run over whoever the Lions are playing. Am I right? Number 4, gravy.
There you go.
All right.
I mean, you can put it on literally. You can put it in your cranberry sauce and it'll make it better.
Now, talking about gravy here, how do you feel about people calling other things gravy, like barbecue sauce, gravy? Anything
I
liquid
think
condiment.
Mike,
wise.
And if it's
Yeah,
like-
I was about
Talking
to.
about sauce, all
it's
right?
informal.
Drew, you don't have to beat around the bush.
Yeah, Joe.
Okay?
Is that a shot at
Italians
Italian
call
Americans?
Sauce gravy.
I'm just throwing it out there. I think it's hilarious, and I'm fine with it. Calling everything gravy.
Yeah, as long as it's informal, you know.
Yeah. Okay, that's
You know,
great.
hey, if the glove don't fit, you must have quit.
Oh, all right.
That's too soon, Tyler.
Number 3, Tyler.
Oh.
Number 3.
Number 3, turkey.
Okay, turkey made your top 5. Great.
Yeah, no,
Boo.
Right.
turkey. I mean, but the thing is, you need to have gravy for turkey, or else, like I said, you're basically just eating. I don't want to say cardboard, but you know what I mean. I think.
Could be dry.
I mean, if it's done well, done right, not well.
Juicy.
Well, yeah.
Number 2, and this was a tough choice between number 2 and number 1, but I went with pie, specifically apple pie, because we are out here in apple country in Hilton, New York. We like our apple pie, and it was a tragedy when my mother accidentally destroyed the apple pie 4 years ago with a
Diedrich family conspiracy?
You're still still holding on to that grudge, huh?
She used a bad crust.
How
And
dare she?
disintegrated, and we had no apple pie that year. The good news is
Lori, you ignorant slut.
there were a
Sorry.
there were a lot of other pies to pick up the slack, and I usually sample at least 3 or 4 different pies. on
Now,
Thanksgiving.
this will be the second and probably the last time ever in this podcast we referenced the Diedrich wedding. But the Diedrich wedding did have a variety of pie at it, which was a pretty unique factor. So pie being on top of the list isn't too
Tyler,
surprising for me.
can I ask? Okay, is this? I'm gonna explain how you eat the pie. Do you not just take slices, but you take your fork and just kind of hover over the pie? And I wish the viewers could see me, but it's kind of like Tyler taking a bite out of each pie, actually from people's plates. Yeah. Is that what happens?
I usually start with a little slice for myself, and then I'll go and I'll sample different slices in the same way, and then maybe I'll go back and stick my fork into the whole pie or someone else's slice and start to pick at that as well.
Tyler's the Thanksgiving party foul.
Yes.
And what?
Go ahead.
Number 1? Are we ready to move on to number 1?
I thought pie was the top of your list. I lost count. Go ahead.
That was number 2. This was
Number
a tough
2.
choice, but I'm going to go with
killing.
I'm going to go with stuffing.
Stuffing.
Because I mean, there are a lot of occasions during the year when you have pie.
Mm-hmm.
Stuffing, aside from whenever someone makes a weird casserole on a random weeknight during the year, you really only have it at Thanksgiving. So I gotta go with stuffing. Particularly, I believe the version that I eat is technically dressing, but I'm going to call it stuffing because I always have. You know, you can take the stuffing out of the man, but you can't take the man out of the stuffing or something like that. And the Diedrich family.
You got something to say about that?
All right. Thank you, Tim.
I don't know.
That's the Diedrich slogan that's above his mantelpiece in his living room right now.
Now, I got a couple...
The Diedrich family makes a nice crisp stuffing, lots of nice sausage in there, and I'll tell you what, you can't beat it. It's the thing that really brings actually gravy brings the whole meal together, but stuffing is the one thing that really stands out to me for Thanksgiving.
Now, is it okay if we drop the G on stuffing and the G on dressing for Thanksgiving?
Absolutely.
So it's dressing, stuffing?
We are not in the South, but you know what? I'm all in favor of it.
But we do live in Hilton, where I'm the rare case where I do pronounce the T. Most of us here go Hilton.
Hilton,
Hilton, Hilton.
Hilton, H-I-L-T-O-N, that's pronounced H-I-L_N, Hilton.
Hilton. So I guess that concludes our power rankings for this week. Yeah. This will be a weekly segment where we run down the top 5 things, or in Joe's case, the top 3 and the bottom 2. Way to come up with your own rules on day 1, Joe. We appreciate it. Got
to beat to a different drum there, Julius.
And next week we'll be in December already. Yeah. All right. Pretty much. A couple days outside of December. And counting down until when Christmas does arrive.
We're at 38 days right now. I'm counting down.
Thank you, Tyler. As of Thursday.
Christmas enforcer.
Christmas enforcer.
Tyler is the Christmas, enforcer. Exactly.
I've had my countdown up since 99 days until Christmas, because that's when the numbers start to fit on the thing. So I've had it up since September.
We're gonna get double digits.
So,
as soon as you get
how long has Tyler Dietrich been playing Christmas music?
What's today's date? The 17th?
Mm-hmm.
17 days.
17 days. So
this is day 17.
November 1st is when Tyler Dietrich starts listening to Christmas music.
Correct.
Why?
Now I don't go full blast into Christmas music. You kind of ease into it. Mm-hmm. You don't want to play the songs that are like too overly Christmas cheery. You got to start out with the stuff that kind of builds you into Christmas time. Like
just like
Step
snow
into Christmas.
Songs, like Winter Wonderland.
No,
and all that stuff.
You can't really phase the snow songs until it actually starts snowing. Which we did have one day of snow in October already, but we haven't had any since. Why do I do this?
Yeah, why so soon?
You only have such a limited time frame to listen to Christmas music every year, and I get very depressed every year around New Year's Day when I have to turn it off, and I'm like, oh boy.
So you listen to Christmas music after Christmas?
Only for about a week.
Okay. I'm just trying to get the idea here.
A quarter of
only
the year.
for 2 months.
So basically, you get that. That puts you in a nice place where you can listen to 2 full months of Christmas music, which is 1/6 of a year. So you don't have to wait too long.
Thank you, Tyler. Yeah. Joe, is it too soon to listen to Christmas music? What's your take, man?
My philosophy is I'll listen to Christmas music like Tyler. I'll ease into it. You don't want to jump too much into a good thing. But November 15th,
you get burned out
is when I'll start listening. So just a couple days ago, I started listening.
Mm-hmm. A couple days ago.
Yeah, I think December 1st is not enough time for Christmas music. November 1st it gets a little old, and in the middle of December, right in the middle of November is perfect.
And my theory is once Christmas and the whole holiday season wraps up right after New Year's Day, kind of leads into a depressing time of year. There's not a whole heck of a lot that goes on in January, February,
Martin
March.
Luther King Jr. Day, President's Day. That's about it.
I mean, this is a time of year that you want to you want to savor this time of year. You want to make it last.
Mike,
actually, I agree with Ty. Like that's a good point.
Mike, you got a hot take on this?
I mean, I'm not going to willingly turn it on, go out of my way to turn it on till after Thanksgiving. I mean, if it's on in a store, I'll be happy. But no, I'm not going to go out of my way to listen to Christmas music this early in the season. It gets overplayed. And I think you do get burnt out by the end of the year. Mm-hmm. So,
well, I've got a hard deadline for when I think it's acceptable for Christmas music. I think it comes about 11:55 Thanksgiving morning when Santa Claus is on the Macy's Day Thanksgiving Day Parade. And
on Thanksgiving Day, you said?
Yes, on Thanksgiving Day, 11:55 a.m. Santa Claus is here. That kicks off the holiday season for us.
Well, I admire you. I admire you for your principles.
Yeah, well, I do have to say, I'm glad you said that. I had a tough day at work this week. I turned it to 102.5 and listened to Christmas music
Star
on the way.
102.5.
That's what I was going to ask. How do you guys go about listening to your Christmas music? The only time I really listen to it is when I'm in the car. I'll tune into
for me,
warm
I was
101.3.
I was actually surprised the day after Halloween, November 1st, when I was at work. Someone said that Sunny 102.3 out of Canada was already playing it. So I'm like, well, better go take a quick lunch break and listen to it. Ran over to McDonald's, got myself a couple Egg McMuffins, and listened to Christmas music.
So
all day breakfast.
I love it. I got a sausage McMuffin and an Egg McMuffin.
He wants more. He
Pick
really
two,
likes it.
for $3.50.
So because I live in New York City, I don't actually have a car, so I can't listen to the radio. So I'll do 2 things. I will listen to iHeartRadio, the 101.3 app. I also have a Christmas Spotify playlist with like 500 Christmas songs. I'll listen to that. So
I actually have a couple of CDs made up that I listen to of Christmas music every year. Yeah, I know. Okay,
cassette tape.
Is it narrated by you, Tyler?
Tyler still likes to use technology from 2008. I haven't advanced beyond that yet. Just let it be. Let me do my thing. Okay, let me live my life, man.
Well, I believe.
No, I also have a playlist on my iPod.
Last year when I had my classroom,
but it's on the radio.
High school students hate Christmas music. And I love to play Christmas music because I hated it so much. It sounds so bad of me being a teacher that way, but I listened to the most Christmas music last year because I had my own classroom.
And the only thing more annoying than high school students, College students.
Yes, that's it. But so I was just saying, I listened a lot last year on Amazon Prime Music because I do have Amazon Prime, and I figured might as well utilize that. They have a lot of stuff up there. One of the things I also did last year, I'm sure Tyler has done this. YouTube has an hour of the soundtrack from Home Alone. Have you ever listened to this?
Well, no, but
Is the soundtrack from Home Alone is it good?
If you heard it, you'd
like,
say,
I don't know. The Home Alone soundtrack is amazing.
Can I actually mention this real quick? Last year, the RPO, the Rochester Philharmonic Orchestra, they had a special occasion. It was the 25th anniversary of Home Alone. The missus and I went to this. There was the RPO played the movie Home Alone on the big screen. The orchestra was below it, and when the songs came up in the movie, they would play them live in the Eastman Theater.
Oh, cool.
And it was pretty neat.
That's really
Kodak
cool.
called it the Eastman Theater. It was neat stuff.
Tyler, as the Christmas enforcer, when is the appropriate time to start watching Christmas specials and movies?
As soon as they're on?
Well, I've been watching Hallmark movies since they actually started before Halloween. I haven't been watching them the whole time, but I usually tune in for a little bit.
Doesn't ABC do? There's a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. Or do they do?
Yeah, Charlie Brown Thanksgiving is on Wednesday night.
And then don't they do Christmas on Thanksgiving night?
Santa Claus is Coming to Town is on Friday night, Black Friday.
Okay.
I don't have a hard deadline on that. I usually start right after Thanksgiving though.
I want to backtrack though. Do you guys have a go-to Christmas song?
I feel this will be a future power ranking. I think.
Yeah.
In the upcoming weeks, we've got songs, movies, and
I did play Paul McCartney's "Wonderful Christmas Time" at the wedding last August.
Yes. This is the third time the wedding's been brought up in the last 36 minutes.
Is that our sponsor, Tyler Dietrich's wedding?
Yeah.
The show is sponsored by Tyler and Amanda Dietrich's wedding.
Brought to you by Chocolate Milk.
But to answer your question, Joe, Mike, Bruce Springsteen Christmas songs really hit it home for me.
Both of them.
Both of them. And when they are on the radio,
and they both sound the same.
I crank that in my truck. It's great.
Another really good Christmas album is I can't say his last name, but it's the Charlie Brown Christmas album. Vince Giardi, something like that.
Giraldi?
Yeah, good stuff.
That's good chocolate.
He's your cousin, Joe. You don't know his name?
Hey,
But I figure upcoming weeks we could do Christmas music as a power ranking, Christmas movie as a power ranking, and to really kill the Christmas theme is our third Christmas.
There's lots of Christmas
to
go around.
That's a great tease, Drew.
Yeah.
Great
There's
tease.
lots of Christmas to go around.
Stay tuned, guys.
Hey, it's still
only uphill from here. Only uphill from
I
here.
promise it will get better.
Mike Vincelli, I'm paraphrasing, as Mike Vincelli would say, the Christmas season is still young.
Yeah.
Yes. Very young.
All right, I think it's time to move on.
Yeah, let's get off Christmas music.
Yeah.
Weekly segment I like to play. It is called "What Year Was It?" We will have
we need some music.
We need to have some intro music for this.
Turn your timer on. Let's see how quick I get this.
These events happened all in the same year in our lifetime. Okay?
Okay.
So, as early as Mike is old, 92? 93. Yeah. So, no earlier than 93. Doesn't give us many years to play with.
Oh, even easier then.
But I think we could still stump Tyler Dietrich.
Doubt it.
Let me get through the whole list first, and then we'll go around the room with our first guest.
I'll let you know when I know, but I won't say the answer until you get through the list.
Well, can you repeat?
Yeah. If you need test modifications, I'm a teacher. I can help you out.
Yeah.
The first thing, the Motorola Razr cell phone was released. I had mine. It was about 4 years I had mine before I ran it over with the lawnmower. Long story. YouTube was born. Tyler's favorite YouTube was born. Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston broke up. The song of the year was Holler Back Girl by Gwen Stefani. And nobody won the Stanley Cup in this year.
Okay.
Everybody think about it for a couple seconds. The Motorola Razr was released. YouTube was born. Brad Pitt, Jennifer Aniston broke up.
Can I go?
Holler Back Girl, Gwen Stefani was the song of the year. And nobody won the Stanley Cup. We'll go around the room. Tyler, you'll go last. Because you may have
I'll
it.
take
Joe.
a shot. I'm going to say 2001.
2001, Joe. Mike.
2006.
2006, Tyler.
2005.
2005. Tyler is our winner. In 2005, all of those things happened. That was a game we like to call.
I gotta admit, I almost said 2004. I almost said 2004.
I think the NHL. Yeah, I think
the NHL.
I couldn't remember when the lockout was.
Lockout was 04-05.
I was in 4th
I thought it
grade.
was 05-06.
I was in 4th grade when it happened. I couldn't tell you.
So you were in 7th grade when it happened. 04-05? Looks like
Yeah.
you graduated in 2010.
No, we were freshmen in 04 and 05, right?
You are correct. We were. You are correct. So you were in 7th grade at the
I
time.
don't know. I can't.
You were 3 years off there.
So anywho, weekly segment that we'll play. Tyler has one win. We'll keep track each.
It's just one.
Just one.
I'm going to be like the 72 Dolphins of this game.
God help us all.
He's getting real cocky over here, Mike.
I know.
That's what I'm saying. We need some sort of ceiling from the Dan Patrick show.
I am not overconfident about much in my life. However, trivia
doesn't have much to brag about.
Trivial matters.
I cannot wait to pull that sound clip.
How about we talk about his crank?
Thanks, Joe.
That's where we're going with this podcast, Joe. We're moving into toilet sounds.
All right.
Thanks, Joe from Astoria, whose computer connection might give in soon, one way or another.
Nope. I'm still at 13%, baby. I got some time.
So,
Can we get a Roger laugh, Joe?
Let's move on to something that is near and dear to all of us. We are all football fans of some sort. NFL fans in particular. Joe and I, the Buffalo Bills. Tyler, the Miami Dolphins. And Mike, the Green Bay Packers. All of which are one and the same pretty much this year. All about sitting in the middle of the pack.
Tell you what, my Dolphins are better than the rest of your teams right now.
Oh, yeah, Tyler.
We'll see if that holds.
You want to go?
Right now they are.
You want to go, Tyler?
Go where?
I don't know. Bills-Dolphins game, Christmas Eve.
I do want to go.
So, anywho, but just past half of the season's over. We got a lot of way left to go. Buffalo Bills pretty much have to win out if they want to make it. The Dolphins are sitting pretty in that middle of the pack.
Well, they're 5-4. They are currently number 7 in the AFC, but they're 2 games back of the wild card because that's currently held by Denver and Kansas City.
It's tough.
So the Dolphins I think they can afford no more than 2 losses the rest of the way.
How about Kansas City staying under the radar for the last calendar year?
For the whole year, I think they've won like 15 straight regular season games. It's something.
Andy Reid is doing a heck of a job. Kool-Aid Man is doing a heck of a job.
But I just think that,
and without Jamal Charles too, has been non-existent this season with a ton of injuries.
And they've just been quiet. The Kansas City Chiefs.
I mean, I feel like they always kind of play under the radar. They don't have an explosive offense. They have always sound defense.
It's Andy Reid's just a really solid coach. Like he knows what he's doing. He gets his team ready for the game, He's just a really good guy.
Thanks, Joe.
All right, let's go off to Andy Reid.
But I don't know if you heard, Andy Reid's a great coach.
Yeah.
You got a phone call coming in over there, Tyler?
Oh, that's just my ringtone. Don't mind that.
Thanks, Tyler. We appreciate it.
That was the greatest artist of our generation, T-Pain.
That's what that was? Oh, I'm glad that we brought the podcast to that level of T-Pain. Just a quick reminder, we haven't plugged it in a while. Check us out on social media at the 259 Show, Facebook and Twitter. Website www.the259show.com. Tell us what you want to hear in upcoming weeks, and let us know what you think about this week. Every Saturday morning, we hope to bring you about an hour worth of entertainment, or what we like to call entertainment about ourselves. It has been a lot of fun tonight so far.
It will get better.
If you're still with us, we truly appreciate it
at this point.
And I believe you would be coming back next week. I don't think you would have committed 44 minutes of your time.
Thanks, Mr. Dietrich.
Thanks for listening, Dad.
Thanks, guys. We truly appreciate it. But
I got nothing.
Thanks, Joe. But we will end every segment going around the room. It's called Airtime. I'm a big fan of the show Around the Horn. The winner of Around the Horn gets 30 seconds to just spout off about something. We are all winners because we're all millennials, and we all believe we are winners. So we're going to go around the room, 30 seconds or so, And, we could even debrief about it a little bit if we got something to say after somebody sounds off. But this is our weekly segment that we end our show called Airtime. Any takers for Airtime number 1?
I'm going last.
Because Tyler's the most
Or
important.
third.
It doesn't matter to me. Joe, you want to lead us off, man?
Yeah, because he's running out of battery.
I'll get this thing started. So, growing up as a young boy in Hilton, New York, there was one thing I listened to, and it was talk radio. Talk radio didn't just help me become a good person; it shaped the man I am today. And to be on talk radio right now really is just—it's a privilege. I idolize Brother Weeds. John DiTullio's my hero. Carl Fox is terrible. Dan Moriarty, I miss him. Rochester Talk Radio has not been the same, but now it's going to get better thanks to the 259 show, and you're welcome. How long was that, Drew? Do I have any more time?
You're on Wham!
Yeah, Joe.
You're on Wham!
Well, let's go. I guess since you brought up local radio, we can talk about it a little bit.
All right.
You mentioned Weez and DiTullio. I loved DiTullio when he was on in the afternoons at 1280, 3 to 5. It was the best show out there.
Better show. It was great.
Yeah, but it really went downhill after that. And I personally, in the mornings, I listen to The Break Room. Little local connection there. Their producer, Kim Bernstein, graduated from Hilton 2007 rather. With my old 2007. And
That's a long ways away.
has that happened yet?
No.
2007. But little local connection there. I'm buddies with her boyfriend who gets brought up from time to time on that show. I think they're funny.
They're funny.
And
It's a little crude.
a little bit more so than at least 3 out of 4 of us here tonight.
Yeah.
And thanks, Joe. And I listen to The Break Room, and then in the afternoon, I can plead guilty. I listen to Kimberly and Beck on the way home. It's
Guilty
the best
as
they got.
charged.
It's the best they got in the afternoon, in my opinion.
Yeah. After DiTullio and Moriarty
Yeah.
split up.
Yeah, DiTullio and Moriarty were great, but I can't bring myself to listen to Kimberly and Beck. I just can't do it. No.
All right, we don't want to get any
Yeah, we don't
radio, but
we don't
I know
wanna-
this will probably get back to them.
The fifth man will be outside our
Fourth
undisclosed
man.
location that we're recording this in after us.
And Kimberly's from, or not
Yeah,
from
North
Hilton, but,
North Greece,
She
not
can't-
Hilton.
She resides in.
She can't touch me through the screen.
All right.
She can't get to me.
I'm sure she can. So that's Dan Patrick's show too during the day
Oh yeah, DP all the way.
as well. So, Mike, I guess
All right, I'm
you're
going
up.
to take this a totally different direction. I don't know if you guys are aware, but the U.S. men's national soccer team played 2 games the last 5 days, playing Friday night and this past Tuesday night.
I did not know. How did they do?
Poorly, Drew.
Man.
It's getting bad here for U.S. soccer, and I think it's time to let our head coach go, Jurgen Klinsmann. They lost a tough one in last minutes of the game to Mexico in Columbus, where we are do pretty well, and that's supposed to be like our home field advantage. Supposed to be our best spot to
The
play.
crew,
in.
right? The crew play there.
Columbus always brings a great crowd, and the U.S. does very well there. But Jurgen's been playing with the formations, and they haven't had consistent lineups ever since he's taken over the helm 6 years ago. This team's made no progress over the last 6 years. He was supposed to come in and change a lot, and tactically, I just don't see us getting any better. And I think it's time for them to make a change. And then they lost 4-0 to Costa Rica, who is ranked better than us right now, but they're not that much of a better team. And it was just a sad performance. I don't think the guys want to play for him anymore, and it's a lackluster performance. And frankly, I'm sick of it. So let's move it along here.
Yeah, well, I wish I had something I could add to
Yeah,
that, Mike.
that's my 30 to 45 seconds good soccer seconds. So
Good
any of our soccer fans out there,
But,
feel free to comment.
Your dad.
Yeah, my dad,
And
Mr.
that's
Diedrich. Actually, no, it's not the women's team. So
And that's about it.
Loves his women's sports.
I'll watch soccer once it comes around to the World
these are
Cup.
World Cup qualifier games. So
Yeah.
we lost the first 2. So
Well, we won't be in on that, right? Pretty much.
No, we still got a shot, but it's not looking too
The
great
comeback
right now. We got
kids.
to turn around.
We are the comeback.
Qualifying games don't come back up till this upcoming March. So
They take a big gap.
big gap, yeah. Long season.
It's about a minute too much soccer.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I mean, this is my FaceTime, right?
Well, you're right. Airtime. I guess I'll go since Tyler called dibs on last. If you've been living under a stone or a rock or a boulder in the last week, maybe the national presidential election news is news to you. I think people have started to calm down, either if they were really pro-Trump or really anti-Trump, which just seems to be the big divide as of late. I do have to... I'm a registered Republican, not a big surprise there. I do live in Parma. Democrat and Chronicle had an article last week that Parma came in as the most pro-Trump coming out of election results in Monroe County. But I do have to say, I'm glad that things have started to calm down, as it always does. It happened in 2008 with Obama, and it happened with Bush in 2000 when he won but didn't win the popular vote. So I do have to say I'm glad it has calmed down. I'm glad Democratic senators have pledged to support Trump as long as he focuses on things like infrastructure and other things that he has talked about, job creation. And I do know exactly why he won. I pulled the sound clip. I went with my mom and one of my buddies. We went and saw Trump speak at the Rochester International Airport when he came back in April. It was awesome. And back then, he was a long shot to even be president, but just to say he saw Donald Trump, and now to say I saw a president. He isn't president yet. Yes, I know. But I saw him. I don't think... that's something to forget. But I pulled this sound clip. This is exactly, in my opinion, exactly why Donald Trump won the election.
And believe me, a lot of those jobs are coming back to Rochester. Believe me, there's going to be incentives, and they're coming back to Rochester.
He promises jobs. He promises jobs coming back. In this case, to Rochester. We'll track it. Let's see how it goes over the... Hopefully the life of the podcast will be able to track this. That's a long-term...
Like I said, this will get better.
What a tease. What a tease. All right? Check back with us in 4 years to see if Donald Trump has kept his promise to Rochester. But, yeah.
And believe me, a lot of those jobs are coming back to Rochester. Believe me, there's going to be incentives, and they're coming back to Rochester.
So hopefully Donald Trump holds true to that. And that's my take on it.
Time will tell.
Yeah, time will tell.
This is a good segue, because I'll tell you what, there was one man that I trust less than Donald Trump right now, and that is Brian Kelly. Now, if you've visited my Twitter account lately, which you probably have not, it's basically a tribute to firing Brian Kelly as the head football coach at the University of Notre Dame. And he's in year 7 now, okay? And I think he's already set the record for most losses by a head coach in Notre Dame history. If not, he's at least tied it. So I'll tell you this. He's had one good season. That's why they've been keeping him around. That's why people think he's a good coach. He had one season when he went 12-1 and got embarrassed in the national championship game. And that he did that whole season with guys who were good leaders that were recruited by Charlie Weiss, not by Brian Kelly, okay? His teams, there's no special teams whatsoever. They play with no fundamentals or physicality. They are soft, okay? There's been more off-field issues than I can ever remember Notre Dame teams having. He makes excuses, so many dang excuses for why the teams lose. He throws players under the bus after every single game and during practice, during the week. He's got a team that's littered with talent. They have highly recruited players that are just regress as time goes on at Notre Dame because they're micromanaged. They can't trust their own instincts and be the player that got them to where they are now. He's a low-rent, arrogant jerk, and he needs to go. And if the athletic director and the board of trustees don't realize it, they need to go too. Because 8-5, or we're 4-6 this year. Usually 8-5 was the average. That doesn't cut it at Notre Dame. Even if this is 2016, everyone gets a trophy or a pinstripe bull ring. I mean, we don't have time for this anymore. Brian Kelly's got to go.
Tyler, can you take a breath from me? Some deep breaths. I would really appreciate it if you can.
Tyler, I think you need a nap.
Well, good, because what time is it? It's almost 8:30. I got to go home.
It's your bedtime, right?
We should implement a clock type down. Not just for Tyler, for all of us. We all went a little long.
I prepared that whole thing in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah. Got a long list. I looked over at it.
So that's why you really peaked early in the show and then fizzled off a little bit towards the middle.
We lost them there the last few seconds.
Pardon my take.
Well, it's okay.
Yeah,
That's why we have a podcast.
He's been there 7 years. Like I said, if the glove don't fit, you must have quit. Brian Kelly's got to go.
Still too soon.
Now, we'll talk about it more eventually, but anybody you have in mind, just off the top of your head, of who you want to be coach of Notre Dame?
I've told Joe this before, and it might not be the most realistic choice, but I say
Rex
Tom Dadgum Coughlin. Tom Coughlin. He's 70 years old. I know that, but I have a lot of good reasons, and hopefully we'll get to that in another show.
Does he have strong Catholic values, Tyler?
He does. And I'll tell you what.
Good for me, then.
Whose younger brother was he?
He's a Western New York native. He's from Waterloo, New York, which is not terribly far
He
from
coached
here.
at my alma mater.
Coached RIT. He's a Syracuse grad. Coached at RIT.
Oh, is he really?
Yep. Back when they had a football program, he coached at RIT.
Program?
Yeah, you can't deny the success he's had. And I think he's the exact type of coach that Notre Dame needs right now, even if he is 70 years old. But they need a change of attitude, and I think Tom Coughlin. He's made it clear he's not done coaching. So yes, Tom Coughlin would be my choice, but I don't anticipate that happening. But I would love it if it did.
All right. Well, thank you, Tyler. This brings an end to our first episode. Hopefully there'll be a second episode at this rate of today. Who knows?
It will get better.
It will get better, as Mike Vincelli said. I do have to say thank you for listening to us for the last hour. Check us out on social media at The 259 Show, www.the259show.com. On behalf of Joe Pesci, Tyler Dietrich, Mike Vincelli, I'm Drew Fowler. Have a good night.
God bless America.